I just vibe coded an entire startup. In 4 hours, this web app with a PANDA, mobile app, landing page, and investor pitch deck, all done simultaneously. And I did it all with Replit using the new Agent 4. So with vibe coding and design tools, I think we're all used to how it works by now. You describe something in words, you wait for it to make that thing, and then you do it again and again and again until you like it. And then there's the whole choosing which tool to use, the learning curve of figuring it out, the expense of testing it out. But Replit has completely flipped that model on its head. Agent 4 introduces 4 key features to vibe coding and design tools that I have not seen done before. And I got exclusive access to try these features out, and I'm going to show you what's possible by building an entire product ecosystem in this video. So here in Replit, we're going to start with our prompt. You can also start with a Figma file, and I have a video on that I'll link in the description, but for now we're going to use a prompt. So in here, I am going to paste kind of a big file. It's got my PRD, it's got my problem statement, and like a proposed solution of how I want to create this app. I am going to try and solve a problem that I've personally had for a long time. And that is, as a freelancer, I want to maximize my effective hourly rate and track my time on tasks. As I've been talking to my other freelancer friends, I've realized that it's entirely possible for someone that charges $5,000 for a project to make $500 an hour versus another person making $100 an hour on that same amount. Because it all depends on how fast you can do the project. Because if you can finish it in 10 hours, then you've effectively made $500 an hour. So the solution that I want to create is a minimal quick start timer that helps me track my project sessions and stick to my ideal rate. This is what it says. I wanted to design me an app to solve this problem, and this is the goal for the solution. Now, if I use \, I can also add in integrations to build this app. So I can connect this to things like Claude or ChatGPT. I'm just going to select website, which is a web app, and I'm going to let it do its planning. Now, as it does that, it's going to show us the type of app that it's going to build for us based on everything that we gave it. And down here, you'll also see some options for agent modes that you can change or toggle, and your plan details as well. Okay, now we're inside of preview, and agent is going to go to work executing on that plan. And a few minutes later, we've got something. We have the start of an app here. It says, welcome to Timeable, and you can select the dropdown and create a new project. And let's say that this client paid me $6,000 for it. And I would love if my hourly rate was like $300 an hour. We're going to create this project. This is what it looks like. And it's got the total time here, hours remaining, the burn rate buffer, this, which is a little cut off in the UI, and then no sessions here. It's not really clear how you add a session either, but it's a start. It could use a lot of UX and UI work, but that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm not sure that I'm crazy about this look and layout, so I want to explore some other options. And to do that, all we have to do is click this canvas button up here in the top left. And now what we see here is an infinite canvas, exactly like we are used to inside of Figma. And I can zoom out just by holding Command and then using my mouse to scroll down. And you can just see that it's an endless canvas that you can move around. This is what I think is absolutely amazing about this. It's how you can iterate and create different variations. So we're on what's called the main version right now. I'll explain a little bit more about how that works. But for right now, when you click on this frame, you can click on Reimagine at the top of this frame, and you'll see all of these really cool recommended prompts. You can explore different approaches, try different layouts, explore different vibes. You can even optimize for usability or have it surprise you. Explore these options. They're really cool, and I'm going to click the first one, which is explore different approaches. And just like that, it has created these 4 different versions and different styles for us. So right now, I like some parts of some of these variations. This brings me to my absolute favorite feature that I mentioned earlier, and it's this little bar down here. This allows you to annotate your designs, and I can just draw on this like that and say, I like this part. I can also go down here and request the changes. The reason that this is so crazy is that The agent has visibility into what you draw or type here or annotate, and it will use that to inform the changes that it makes. So for me, I'm a very visual person. It's a lot easier for me to circle something than it is to think of a very complete component or element and have to draw it out perfectly. So this is so fun for me. I'm going to go ahead and send this to agent. We've applied all of that to this main version. So now if we want to test this out, I'm going to click on the canvas button again, and that's going to toggle us back into the preview mode so we can actually use it. So I can click in here, I can call this like a video project, and then my ideal rate would be 300. 6,000. And now it lets me know that for that budget, I've got 20 hours to do this work, so I can create the project. And now we're dropped into this, we can kind of start to work through this in our product roadmap. One of those ways is by using the visual editor. So whether you're in Canvas or preview mode, you can double click on an element and it's going to show you that div, and you can click on things and change them. You can change the text, you can change the color, different elements like the background, margins, and padding. And if you're in preview mode, it's the same thing. So you can flick over here and you can inspect these elements and change things. I can go ahead and add sessions. Now I think of sessions as tasks within that project. So for a video, I might do scripting. So I want to be able to add scripting here. And then I hit enter and it kind of went blank. Nothing seems to be happening. Okay, there it is. So it took a minute and there was no feedback for me as a user to understand if it was loading, why it was taking so long. So now that is a functionality thing that I'm thinking about and a user experience thing that I'm thinking about. And so now let's get into the best part of Agent 4, which is parallelism. So up until this point, I have been making changes one at a time, looking at something, asking it to fix it or adjust it, and waiting. But I don't have to do it that way. And I think it's important to have some sort of a model for how you're going to do this so you don't get super confused. But what I'm going to start to do is spin up these different agents or these new tasks and assign an agent to work on that. One of the first things I want to do is fix that issue there. So I'm going to spin up a new task, and I like to think of it in 3 buckets: the UI stuff that I'm working on, the UX stuff that I'm working on, and then the functionality stuff. For a simple project like this that works, that's an easy model that I can follow mentally. For more complex projects or products with a large roadmap, you might want to split these tasks into features and assign an agent to those individual features. So we're going to come over here and we're going to click on New Task. And I'm going to start planning this new task. So I'm going to say, I want to smooth out the functionality here. So I'm going to hit enter. It's going to start planning that. And then back on the main version, I can create another task, and this might be about some UI changes that I want to make. Instead of just this time used here, I want a cool progress bar. And I want that progress bar to show me a spectrum of when I'm moving further away from my target rate. And maybe I don't want to type this out in Word. So what I'm going to do is click on Canvas, and then I am going to grab my doodler here. I'm going to circle this area and let the task agent know that I want to replace this with a progress bar. Now you can see I have these 2 tasks running. Now, if you want to see that, then we can open up a task board, and that's this button down here. And if we open this up, this might look familiar to you. It is a Kanban board that we've all seen. And if you've used projects in GitHub, for example, this will look really familiar. And it starts with a draft, and the agent is just going to move these along into these different column states. These can all be happening in parallel, simultaneously. So it looks like one of our tasks is finished. Well, actually both of them are. So let's take a look at the first one. This is the progress bar for target rate. And if you go down here, it shows you the plan. So it's going to replace this with a progress bar. So we can have it start building that, which I'm going to do here. Now, if we go back to our task, we can see that that one task is now active. Now we have another one that needs to be approved. So we can look at this, and this is about the UX. We want to smooth that out. It looks good, so I'm going to hit start building. And now you can just go back to your main version and keep making edits. So over here on our board, we can see that there's another task ready for us, and this is the progress bar. So we're going to go over to this, and then we can try this out. So let's toggle our preview. Let's add in a new project, create our project. And while this is loading, something I want to point out is that this is like a branch, the same way you might have one in GitHub. And it is not the main version yet. It's creating a duplicate version of this app with these changes so that you can preview them and decide if you like them. And so here's our progress bar now, and it shows the time used here. It shows our effective rate and the hours remaining left on this project. As it runs, it's changing the effective rate and timing everything. So what we would do now is just apply this to the main version if we like how that looks. In the meantime, we have another task over here, and now it has a loader to show that it's starting. That's much smoother. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply to the main. And I think this is really where Agent 4 shines, because the tool isn't really the bottleneck anymore. I normally had to notice what I wanted to fix and take notes down, and when the agent was finished, I would have to then prompt it again. And now it's just moving at the speed of my thoughts, and it's a continuous workflow that doesn't get interrupted. But this app is missing something really important, and that is a panda. I wanted to gamify this by adding a cute animation, so I asked Replit to help me come up with an idea for tying this to a panda animation, and it did. I decided to go with the panda's moods changing based on how close I am or far I am from sticking to my ideal rate. Well, there is a panda here now. I'm adding a session, and as the session starts, it should change to like on track. Yes, there it is. There's a glow, it's bouncing up and down, and it says I'm on track. Okay, if we let the timer run out for a bit, it should switch to falling behind, yes. And when we drop below that ideal rate, in the red. Okay, that actually worked, and it's so cute. Now, let me show you what is so cool about projects. Let's say I want to turn this into a mobile app and publish it to the App Store. All I have to do is go over to the library panel, and if you don't see it, it's this little square icon up here at the top right next to publish. Slide that panel out, and then you'll be able to add a new artifact here. So when you do that, back over on the left side in the agent panel, you'll see these options to create a website, a mobile app, slides, animations, etc. I am going to say just that. I'm going to go back to the canvas and just hold Command and drag my mouse down and zoom out. And there it goes to work, planning out this mobile app. Everything lives in this project. And over here on the right, you can switch between the website and the mobile app and all of your other artifacts in the library. Wow, that was extremely fast. And here we have the mobile app. Now, this is an app that can be pushed to the App Store right from Replit. And all you need to do is come over here, click on the canvas, click Preview, and then it's going to show you how to scan the QR code to test your app and begin that process of submitting it to the App Store. And it's literally a button right here. Go live with your app and landing page, then submit to the App Store. It's that easy. And I'll show you right now. I installed the Expo Go testing app on my phone, and then I use my camera to come over here and scan the code, and then it's going to open that app up here. And there it is, the live real mobile app, and I can go ahead and add in. It's absolutely incredible. And leave a comment and let me know if you want the link to try out this project and remix it yourself, as well as $10 in credits when you sign up for Replit. Okay, so let's exit out of preview mode and back to the canvas. And here you're going to see the website, the mobile app, and now I want to make the landing page because I got to sell this thing and get people interested in it. So again, we're going to come over here. I'm going to select website, and then I'm going to say, create me a landing page with great sales copy. So if we click preview, that's what the website looks like. So good. I love it. Let's say that I want to go out and fundraise for this app and, get some investor funding. Well, I'm gonna need to pitch it, and for that, I'm gonna need a pitch deck. So let's make some slides. Create me a pitch deck to pitch this to app investors to secure seed funding. Our slide deck is now finished. Come over to the preview. I just love how everything feels so native in here. I mean, this feels like how you would see a PowerPoint or a keynote presentation. You know, it has the problem, solution, product, market, business model, traction, all of the quintessential slides that you need to pitch this to investors. And when it comes to publishing your app and deploying it, when they say it's one click, they're not kidding. I'm just going to come up here, maybe two. I hit the publish button, and then it's going to show you that you can publish it to your domain name. And these are all of the artifacts that you're going to publish. And there are other settings here that you can adjust if you need to. You can just sit back while it does all of the complicated technical things for you. And that's all there is to it. Everything is published. Here are the live links to all of your artifacts. Now, I know I have covered a lot in this video, so make sure to save it to your watch list and come back later and follow along when you build your next project in Replit with Agent 4. And let me know in the comments what you're building, because I would love to hear about it. If you want to see how I do other really cool things with Replit, watch this video next.